In today's video, we're going to be talking about my first conscious manifestation. So the first thing I consciously manifested. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new. Make sure that you subscribe before you leave, and that way you'll never miss out. Click the little bell, that way you won't miss out on another video. I do upload 3 times a week, and every single Friday I have a free pick a card reading for you guys. But in today's video, I thought I would share with you guys the first thing I ever manifested, like consciously, actively manifested. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. It was right after I read this book, The Secret. I remember I was in a very bad place. I was very depressed. I was actually on antidepressants, and I was grieving like heavily, and it was a very, very bad time in my life, very dark time in my life. And I think it was I don't even remember what birthday it was, but my mom got me as a gift all 3 of the Secret books. It was The Secret, The Magic, and The Power. She got me all 3 of them as a gift. And I've heard of these books. I had heard of these books before, and I was really, really drawn to them, and my mom knew that, and so she surprised me with all 3 of them. So after reading the book, first of all, I want to tell you guys that if you guys are going through something rough in your life, if you're going through a dark phase, you're grieving, just a really bad place in your life, read The Secret. And if you've read it before and you're struggling right now, pick it up and read it again, because it's really powerful. Like, just open it up and read a line if you have to. It's very inspiring, and it just triggers your mind. So you know how sometimes we have bad triggers? I feel like we should also have good triggers, and for me this book is a good trigger. So I want to get into like the little section that I read that inspired me to go ahead and like try to manifest this thing. And I'll show you what it is too, because I still to this day have it. So on page 64 of The Secret, if you guys have The Secret, you guys can open your books too, but it says, I'm going to read this to you really quick. Starting with something small is an easy way to experience the law of attraction with your own eyes. Let me share a story with you of a young man who did exactly that. He watched The Secret, and he decided to do something small. So he created a picture of a feather in his mind, and he made sure this feather was unique. He created particular markings on the feather so he would know without any doubt that if he saw the feather, it had to come to him through his intentional use of the law of attraction. 2 days later, he was about to walk into a high-rise building on a street in New York City, and he said he did not know why, but he just happened to look down. There at his feet, at the entrance to a high-rise building in New York City, was the feather. Not just any feather, but the exact feather he imagined. It was identical to the picture he had created in his mind, with all of its unique markings. In that moment, he knew without a shred of a doubt that this was a law of attraction working in all its glory. He realized his amazing ability and power to attract something to himself through the power of his mind. With total faith, he has now moved into creating bigger things. So that's how you build your confidence. And so after I read that, ever since I was a little girl, I've had this fascination and obsession with crows. Like, as you can see, if you guys can see the skull behind me, it has a crow on top. I love anything and everything to do with crows. I will feed the crows that are outside of my house. I love crows. And so when I read about this man who attracted this feather, I was like, I want to attract a crow feather. I would love to have one, like just a pure black crow's feather. And I pictured it in my mind, and I imagined myself touching it. I imagined it pure black and intact, a healthy feather. And I don't even think I've ever seen a crow's feather before that, or even if I had, I never even paid attention to it or even knew if it was a crow feather or what kind of feather it was. But in this moment, I just wanted that crow's feather, and I just thought it would be so beautiful to have. So I started to just think about it, and I did this for only like 10 minutes that one day. I never did it again. So just like this man, 2 days later, he found the feather. 2 days later, I wake up, brush my teeth, get my coffee, and then I go to the backyard and I open the door and I walk out, and then I walk back in and there's something on the floor, like right next to the door. When I look down, it was a crow's feather. I've never seen a crow's feather in that area of my yard before. I've never seen a crow's feather in my yard before, period. Like, that to me was amazing. It was the first thing I ever intentionally manifested. It was the first thing that gave me hope in the law of attraction, that gave me confidence in the law of attraction. It was the first thing that really triggered that knowing that my mind is so powerful, that it brought that to me. Somehow it attracted it to me. And that connection with the universe was also very strong, because I was like, what kinds of things and energies did the universe have to shift to get that feather to me? The feather might have fallen, blew in the wind, somebody might have kicked it, it might have, I don't know, like, imagine all the possibilities. But it did end up to me, and I actually have it right here. So what my boyfriend did is he made me a feather smudge, and how I use this is when I burn sage or Palo Santo or incense, I like to smudge the area with this. So this has peacock feathers, and I love feathers. Obviously, after that day, I love feathers. So this has peacock feathers, and the crow's feather is right here. And so this is very meaningful, very special to me, because the crow's feather is right here. I have a raven feather, and then I have this parrot feather that I got from Mexico. So it's really like symbolic and meaningful to me. I do sell feather smudgers on my Etsy store, and I'll leave that link down below. We've made a bunch of smudgers with feathers and peacock feathers and crystals and all that stuff. So it's really good. It's really high vibrational. It's very sacred. I've kept the feather in a drawer for so long, and so when I finally pulled it out and my boyfriend made the smudger, it just really like inspired me to make this video. I really wanted to share that story with you guys. And let me know in the comment section down below, what have you guys manifested? What was the first thing you ever intentionally manifested? I find those kinds of stories super interesting. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!